$465 million. That's how much the US government just spent on counter drone technology. Not for a military base, not for some top secret installation, for a soccer tournament. That's it. Now, it is the FIFA World Cup, but what they did and implemented and deployed across 11 cities over the past 5 weeks is going to change how Americans fly their drones, more specifically, their DJIs, and it's going to change permanently. Okay, let me break this down. Where all that money actually came from, because it wasn't in just one big check. This was a coordinated event across multiple agencies, all with the same target, going after unauthorized drones. First up, we have FEMA. The Federal Emergency Management Agency awarded $250 million in counter drone grants directly to the 11 states, including Washington, D.C. Missouri alone received $14.24 million just for the Kansas City matches at Arrowhead Stadium. That's one city. Second, we have DHS. Department of Homeland Security launched a brand new office in January of 2026. This new department is the Program Executive Office, or PEO, for unmanned and counter unmanned aircraft systems, and immediately deployed $115 million specifically to secure World Cup sites. Third, we have the Pentagon. The Joint Interagency Force 401 committed another $100 million in April of 2026 to enhance counter drone capabilities at the tournament. So let's summarize that up. We have 250 million, 115 million, 100 million. That's a total of $465 million of your tax dollars deployed to stop drones at a sporting event. And that number doesn't include what individual cities spent on top of that. Now here's where it gets really interesting, especially for drone pilots, because what they deployed at these stadiums wasn't just cameras and security guards. It was the most sophisticated counter drone ecosystem ever assembled on American soil. This is the centerpiece of Axon's counter drone system, or better known as Dedrone system. You may know Axon as a company that makes tasers, but their counter drone division just posted a 300% increase in revenue surge just in Q1 2026 alone. They deployed across 11 World Cup cities and more than 50 additional sites, including hotels, training facilities, and fan zones during the FIFA World Cup. Their new Dedrone trailer, C2 trailer, let me say that, making its debut at this tournament, combines long-range radar, radio frequency decoding, and thermal cameras with onboard Starlink and 5G. What that means is one operator, one trailer, and fully active in under 15 minutes. It can detect, track, and find and locate your drone before you even know that you're even being watched. And here's what makes this a game changer. Dedrones is now, like their system is now integrated into Cellebrite's forensics platform and Axon's real-time crime center, Fusus. That means that the moment your drone is detected, it's immediately going to police databases. And that means that your registration is tied to you. Your registration gets linked to your identity, and law enforcement has your information in real time. The FBI said it plainly in May, and I quote, "Every public gathering is a drone environment. The public expects and deserves the skies to be watched," end quote. It wasn't a warning, it was a mission statement. The FBI technology is only half the story. The other half is the legal framework that they have been putting together and putting in place to make all of this possible. And if you haven't heard of the Safer Skies Act, you might want to be paying attention right now. The Safer Skies Act was codified through the National Defense Authorization Act, or NDAA, which was signed in December 2025. And it did something that has never been done before in United States history. It gave state and local law enforcement the legal authority to conduct counter drone operations, to detect drones, to track drones, and to seize, disable, and destroy drones as they consider a threat. Before the Safer Sky, only federal agencies had this authority, but now your local police departments have this authority. And that's after completing a 2-week FBI counter drone training course. They have the legal right to take your drone out of the sky whenever they deem that they need to. And the penalties for flying in a restricted FIFA World Cup zone are astronomical. And we're going to break them down real quick. $75,000 fine per a violation. That's for a civil violation. For a criminal violation, that's $100,000. And they've been handing these out like candy. If you receive felony charges, they can double your prison sentence. Repeat offenders can get up to 5 years in prison. And if you are caught, your drone gets confiscated on the spot, no warnings, and no second chances. Repeat offenders, following along Specter, and specifically following along with my UAFR series, then none of this should come to a surprise for you, because this is exactly the government setting up the framework to make this all happen. They've been building towards this, and the FIFA World Cup just gave the government the perfect testing grounds to prove their new counter drone system works. If you've been following, I want you to take away from this, and I really want everybody to think carefully about this. The US government just spent $465 million to deploy the most advanced counter drone ecosystem ever assembled in American soil. They got the public comfortable with it. They got the local law enforcement trained up and certified to do it. They finally figured out the legal framework to make this happen, and now they're deploying this technology all over the United States in different cities. And thanks to the FIFA World Cup, they got to test their new technology in real time. And unfortunately, a lot of people have taken the bait, and they're just giving the federal government more data, specifically by using their DJIs flying into the restricted areas, and they're catching you every time. Now, here's the bottom line. The World Cup, it ends on the 19th. But that doesn't mean anything for the rest of us. The infrastructure is not going to go away. DHS is not just going to close their doors the next day. The trained law enforcement officers don't forget their training and just say, we don't need to worry about drones anymore. The drone trailers don't go back into some warehouse somewhere. The counter drone ecosystem is now permanently embedded in American law enforcement, and it's going to expand. If you watched my videos on the special UAFR that's been proposed, the cyber counter swarm for drones is out there, the ESA 100-gram limit that they're lowering. You're watching all these threads come together in real time. The regulatory framework, the enforcement of technology, the legal authority, it's all here, it's all live, and the drone industry will never be the same. If you watched my video, what you guys think. Is 465 million of taxpayers' money for a soccer tournament, is that justified for national security? Let me know. Or is the American government using a soccer tournament to justify preeminent drone surveillance over American cities? It's a pretty good argument on both sides. Drop your answers in the comments below. I read them all. I respond to every single one of them. And if this is your first time following Specter Aero, my name is Baz. I'm the founder and CEO of Specter Aero. And I would love for you guys to follow along in our journey of building a company, a manufacturing company for consumer and prosumer drones. And also we keep up to like the latest news in the drone industry. So if you would, follow, share, and like the video. If you've been here for a while, please give that like on the video so we can get more people out there and to see what we're doing here at Specter Aero. Let's build.